Hello and welcome to Freedom March. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Levan Miller. And thank you for tuning in to 103.5 The Beat FM, or Channel 224, or Channel 112, or ILTV Studios, or wherever you are listening to us. We appreciate you for tuning in, wherever you are tuning in. Today is Wednesday.
It is.
I know that it's Wednesday because Wednesday is Barber Day. And so I want to say a special shout out to my friends over there at Island Connect. You know where to find them. They're on Bernard Road or off of Bernard Road or on Foxhill Road, whatever Bahamians call it. You know, Bahamians don't ever really know the name of the road. It is the barber next door to St. Anne's. You got that? Good. So go over there and see my friends Ali and the boys and tell them that you heard it here first on Freedom March. That if you're tired of looking like somebody who been to see Edward Scissorhands and you want to look like this, well, firstly, you would need to be born to Elsa and Levan because that's where the boyish good looks and charm come from. But outside of that, everything else is Ali. And so to my friends at Island Connect, I want to say a special hello and a special shout out to them. I joined the studio with Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor. Spiritual advisor, happy Wednesday.
Yes, good to be here. Good to be
Hot
here.
outside again.
Oh, it's warm, definitely.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact,
Indeed.
every time I go outside, I say to myself that I've got to begin working a little harder on my soul's salvation because,
You don't go to hell.
man, listen, if this is just a rehearsal,
Yep.
I hope like at least when I get to heaven, they put me in the coconut tree section because I want to make sure that there's no chance of this kind of heat getting me at all. And so that's what I'm working towards every day as I live my life, going to and fro throughout New Providence. But there's a lot of interesting things happening here in Nassau. And we also have some guests.
You do?
We have some guests, and they're going to join us shortly on set. We're going to talk about some things, right?
Absolutely.
And then we're going to get a little bit into the Red Bible and find out some information, and we'll see how that turns out. But outside of that, what did you get into on Wednesday?
Today I did some landscaping.
You do landscaping every day,
so I
Bradley?
do, well, it all depends.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm off, but today.
Who's giving you the day off? Is
I
Bradley
am.
giving you the day
It's
off?
good when you
Oh,
work
boy.
for yourself. You have that privilege. So
Do you like send
I'll
your
take
time
tomorrow
off
off.
through HR?
I'll take tomorrow off, work Friday, take Saturday off,
Wow.
and then the first of the week comes. We're looking at that. The first day of the week.
First day of the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course we meet with the Christians
Of
around the Lord's table.
All right.
Indeed.
Right, which is mandated by the Apostle Paul that we get that. I like that.
Yeah. It's a pattern we see in the New Testament.
Indeed. Anyway, you hear the jingle. Don't move. I'm Levan Miller. The jingle means we're going to the break. This is Freedom March. You're listening to 103.5 The Beat FM. And we'll be right back after the break here on Freedom March. And so welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. You're joining us on 103.5 The Beat FM or 224 or 112 or ILTV studios on Facebook or wherever you're joining us. I'm joined in the studio today by a very interesting bunch of people. You know, every day I'm here with the newly minted spiritual advisor for the entire Commonwealth of the Bahamas. He was once spiritual advisor to Rodney Munker. However, after Mr. Munker transitioned, Bradley Rule, he ascended to national status and proclaimed and became spiritual advisor for the whole Bahamas. And we're so happy to have him here on Freedom March. But there are some people that are in studio with me that are not Bradley Rule. And they are Azaria Blake and Joel Carbar. Yeah?
Yes,
and they too are from the Church of Christ.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fantastic. See that? See, I'm getting it right already. And so tell us, first of all, let me say thank you for one, being in the Bahamas. Secondly, thank you for being on Freedom March. Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about who exactly, firstly, is Azaria, and then who is Joel?
Well, like you said, I'm Joel Carbaugh. I'm from Gainesville, Florida.
Gainesville, Florida.
Yes, sir. My home church is Sun Life, but we are a plant church, actually from the Crossings, which is a church that Azaria is from. And we're here to help represent for Highbury Park Church of Christ.
Okay.
What we've been doing, though, is we've been going out canvassing, setting up for a VBS that we had on Sunday for the
Vacation Bible School.
Yes, sir. For the little kids, just to teach, get them in on the Word of God, try and live out the Great Commission that we were told, go out in all the world, preaching and teaching and baptizing. And we wanted to get the little kids in on there, so we held a VBS, Vacation Bible School. Mm-hmm. We had a little carnival for them afterwards. And since then, we've been doing service projects around the island.
All right, sounds fun. Azaria?
Yep. Well, my name is Azaria Blake, and like Joel said, I'm a part of the Crossings St. Louis in St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
And we just had an incredible opportunity with Brother Donnie Dillon, who wanted a group of us in Missouri and a group of us in Florida to come down to the Bahamas and be able to just continue to spread the word of the gospel, continue to just share that love of Christ to kids, to older adults, to those who are, less fortunate. And I saw the call, saw the message, and I wanted to be all about it. And so, yeah.
That's fun. And I'll say this, right? So it's fun to work for Jesus every day. Mm-hmm. It is funner to work for Jesus in the Bahamas.
Amen. Most definitely.
Yeah. See, like, I could deal with these kind of missions. Like, Jesus, if you want to send me somewhere, Jamaica is fine. Turks and Caicos, I'm into that, Jesus, Not so much those other places. But I'm very happy to have you all here in the Bahamas. Fun fact about me, I lived in Missouri for 7 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I know that it is the one place you can live and experience all 4 seasons of the year within the first 3 days of getting there.
Don't get me started.
What is today? What is today? July 2nd? Mm-hmm. It might be raining all day today there. Mm-hmm. That's quite possible. Mm-hmm. And it is the one place that I ever went where I saw, what is it called? Torrential downpour. Like, they don't have sprinkle.
Oh.
Bahamians would call it spray.
Right.
Missouri have one level of rain. It's on.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's either raining or not raining.
Yep, correct.
Yep. And in Florida, it's sprinkling, raining,
Yeah.
storming, or...
Yeah, no, they don't have that.
That's our seasons.
No, they don't have that
whatever
in
the
Missouri.
rain is.
and not to be outdone, because you might leave with an 82-degree day and a sunny sky, right? There's hardly ever any clouds around. But that doesn't mean that you won't come out of the mall at 7 p.m. and it's 32 degrees and possibly blowing, 15 miles an hour. It's an interesting place to live.
It would be nice,
Yeah.
though. that sounds like a dream.
The issue is you never know what to wear. You never know what to wear. So when I lived there for 7 months, every day of my life, for the 7 months that I was there, I took a backpack with clothes in it, just in case I needed to change my outfit for the day.
For every season.
Change my seasonal wear for the day. Okay, so you're here, you're in Nassau, you're doing the VBS, you're doing it with the Highbury Church of Christ.
Yes, sir.
We know that the spiritual advisor is associated heavily with the Highbury Church of Christ. Tell us a little bit about the Church of Christ, whether it is the one in Highbury, whether it is the one in St. Louis, or the one in Gainesville. And what exactly are you all hoping to achieve over this? How long is it going to be? 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks? How long is Vacation Bible School going to be?
Well, so far we've for the time that we've been here, we just had it for the Sunday, but there have been talks of maybe trying to do it maybe once a month.
Okay.
It could be anywhere from one day. I've seen them up to a week long.
Okay.
And so we're hoping to see that, and just the mission of the Highbury Church of Christ is it's the same as the Sun Life and as the Crossings. We believe in the Bible, we believe in the Word of God, and we believe in pushing that to the whole world, teaching. Basically, our mission is the Great Commission,
right,
essentially.
Yeah,
and,
so it's like the go ye therefore into the world, preach the gospel, baptize them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. And
exactly.
Lo, I shall be with you always.
Exactly, and
just in case the people don't know which one it is.
There you go. And we believe there's no one that it can't reach. There's no one. There's no one too rich, no one too poor, no one too close, no one too far.
Sure.
And so we go wherever we're needed.
How big is the footprint of the Church of Christ in places like the Bahamas and in this region?
Luckily, we were actually informed on the way here by our lovely chauffeur that apparently we've had Highbury has 3 branches here on Nassau itself. Okay. And then several more throughout the different islands.
Wow. That's pretty cool. All right, and so I know you are powered by the Great Commission, sure. But is there, okay, so you must have specific missions though, like so you're here for the Vacation Bible School. Is there any social outreach program in particular that you all are paying any specific attention to while you're here?
Well, I know specifically it's been 5 years since there's been a event of this sort, of having the Vacation Bible Schools, of having like Wednesday night Bible school. So really we're trying to get the people that might have left from during that time of COVID to come back into attendance to the Highbury Church of Christ, so they know that it is up and running, that we do have even the Christians in Action group, or CIA, them meeting as well, and they're like a young adult kind of like group age of students who are also doing the work as well for those that are around my age, which I'm 21, and so really that's kind of part of our goal, is kind of to revive what might have been lost from COVID, and to reach out to the different people in the neighborhood and in the community in Nassau Village, because we did a lot of door knocking. Might have seen us in the mall where Kelly's is, right next to the Wendy's, and all the way out to Nassau Village, and just trying to show people like, hey, like we are a church, we are here, and we're here for you, and we're doing whatever it takes to show you that we can reach that connection like we had before COVID, even though it's a new normal.
Sure. You said something that is interesting to me. It stands out. You said that you're 21, which means that whatever the message of the Church of Christ is, it resonates.
Absolutely.
What about it though resonates to people that, because you get it, old people is follow Jesus because Jesus was the only thing they had to follow. Like the world wasn't as fluid and flowing with information, and there wasn't so much curiosity in the world. So if you 80, you just follow Jesus because that's just that was the thing to do when you was 80,
right?
Yeah. Right. And then of course there are middle-aged people, some of whom follow Jesus, but of course they grew up. I'm in '85. I'm a vintage model, so I grew up with Jesus, of course. Then the internet came, then the influx of information came, and so there's so many things that people are now testing and retesting, etc., just to make sure that your faith is firm. But you are 21,
Correct.
Which means when you come there, you had all the satellites in the sky. You didn't watch them launch none of the rockets, right? Yet you still believe.
Yeah.
What is it about the message of the Church of Christ that resonates with someone that could be considered a Zennial, I think it is?
Yeah, we're a Gen Z out here. But I think thing that really gravitated to me was specifically with like even my church was that there is that emphasis of young people and like reaching out like to them, because I feel like other churches that I used to go to growing up, it really did have that older generation emphasis, and even in when it came to the preaching, I feel like the sermons really went over my head, and that I wasn't really per se included in the dialogue in a way that seemed relatable to me. Even some youth groups would be like 16 to 35, and I'm like, I'm not sure if a 16-year-old can really relate to the things of a 35-year-old. And so I think being able to see, even like within our church, and I hope other churches can adopt it, but a group for each age, for kids, for middle school, for high school, for college, for young adults, and then for adults, because each stage does go through different things. And so being able to see that within like the Church of Christ, and that we're able to find other people, there's other people in the studio as well, my friend Cynthia, and she's like 25 and she's a part of the campus ministry, and so being able to see that there's other people my age that want something different, that doesn't want to do the things of the world, of drinking, of smoking, of partying, of and not saying anything against those who do it, but knowing that didn't find me satisfaction and fulfillment, and that there is someone who is Jesus that really did fill that God-sized hole in my heart, and that he was worth everything that I was willing to sacrifice for. So.
Sure. And the work of the church, right? Like, so for full disclosure, I'm a preacher's kid, right? So I've been around ministry my whole life. The work of the church never ends. It doesn't stop. It's the 10 p.m. phone calls. It's the phone calls during dinner. It's the disruption of family events to go and cater to the church. It's just taking care of the actual physical structure sometimes. And people come into the church, they have a great time, they leave, but the church still has to be, it has to be ran. Someone has to ensure that all the windows are locked, all the doors are locked, all the hymnals are put up, all the Bibles are put up, all the preaching equipment is stored away properly, etc., etc., etc. At such young age, both of you actually, to see you doing mission work, what exactly motivates you?
That can be a complicated question for me, but for me, I've been with the church my entire life as well.
Sure.
I wouldn't necessarily call myself a young one either. I'm from the 80s myself.
Are you vintage as well?
I'm vintage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
But I've been around the church my entire life, and there was even times when I started falling away from the church. When I was actually Azaria's age, there was a time I didn't go to church. I still believed in God, but I didn't feel the Holy Presence with me. But my church family never gave up on me, and so essentially I got to a point that they came to me, and essentially they were like doing a mission to me, and that really affected my life. It let me let go of the things that I couldn't control, and I just wanted to be that kind of person, that kind of voice for someone else that could be in the same kind of situation.
Yeah. And you?
Yeah, I think something beautiful about the mission is just how inclusive that it is. And I feel like especially in the world that we live, it feels like everything is like, or that Christianity can feel so exclusive that you need to be in this sort of like box and everything. But I feel like it's so inclusive because of Jesus and how he reached out to everybody, and how the church emulates that too. Because how can we say that we are, one with Christ if we are not also being inclusive to all those in different backgrounds? And so I think what was cool even coming on this mission trip was knowing that I can be able to see a culture or perspective that's apart from my own, be able to see communities of people that I don't normally, interact with, and also knowing coming from St. Louis, Missouri, that if you know anything about it, you ain't door knocking.
Yeah, it's a rough little town. Yeah. St. Louis is a rough little town to grow up in.
Exactly. So I think just having that that experience of being able to do that in a community that really is quite welcoming, and that even though people have, warn some caution, being like, hey, Nassau Village, that's kind of sketchy or anything. It's like,
good prototype though.
Right. So it's like not nothing like back home, but it just gives me a different perspective that I think emboldens me to bring that back at home as well.
Yeah. So you guys, how long are you guys gonna be here in Nassau on the mission?
Well, this is our last full day.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got here on Friday and we're leaving out tomorrow.
Okay.
So we wanted to get out here and hopefully, do one last push for our brothers and sisters at Highbury.
Yeah.
At Highbury Park, we're having a good service tonight starting at 6:45, and we'd love to see as many people as we can possibly see there.
How fulfilling was the mission for you? I mean, to get out, to get in the spaces. Coming from St. Louis, I don't know if we had enough excitement for St. Louisville here. It's just
Yeah, man, I feel like I was just talking to Yadeja's mom over here in the corner about one of the coolest experiences was going to a care home with those that they're just in less fortunate financial situations, health situations, and being able to meet them where they are and being able to, just see how their day is, just pray for them, hug them even. Like, I just don't think they really get that from, just strangers. I think it, made us all emotional in a sense that we were able to touch their hearts, be able to sing worship songs like Goodness of God by C.C. Winans, and just being able to see the joy that lit up on their faces, be able to see the warmth, and even the emotion that came out of some of them was really the fulfilling part, that we are actually doing something that I believe will leave an impact. And then knowing also that we want to come back and be able to restore some of those homes that, they look a little bit damaged, like porches broken in, and knowing that, well, now we know where we can keep going and where we can keep serving. It's not just a one and done. We want to keep going.
Yeah. So, if there is a takeaway from this week, what do you think is the greatest takeaway?
Oh man, that really the Spirit of God is everywhere.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That is really the long and short of it. The Spirit of God is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it would be that everyone truly needs Jesus, even if it's someone that seems intimidating, even if it seems like someone that has a hard rock. Just go, just tell them, just see how they're doing. Like, just don't let the exterior get in the way of what could truly be inside, and that what Jesus wants to really reach, and that you can be the person, you can be the walking Bible that Jesus wants to use to impact that person's life. So don't be scared. Doesn't matter how young, doesn't matter how old, doesn't matter how unqualified you feel, that Jesus uses anybody. He used unqualified disciples. He used and reached out to those that might have felt unqualified to hear his message. And so if he reached the unqualified, there's a saying that we have back at home, that he doesn't call the qualified,
He
but he qualifies the
call.
call.
Flaring up my He qualifies the call.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, that's the jingle. You have a contact for the services this evening? Like, how does somebody reach you guys if you want to attend the service? Do you have a contact for it?
I believe we do have.
Bradley will give it to us on the next Saturday.
We have something for you that we can get you in contact with them.
All right, you hear it. The people from the Church of Christ are here. They say they're going into all the world to preach the gospel, baptizing in the name of the Father. And lo, we'll be right back after the break. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. I'm Levan Miller. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. Bradley Roll is here with me. And he's not the
Absolutely.
missionaries from the
The
church.
United States of America, yeah, from
Yeah.
the church in America.
Yeah.
So you understand how this term universal, the church is a universal body because when you plant the seed, which is the word of God, if you plant it in the Bahamas, if you plant it in Jamaica, if you plant it in Canada, if you plant it in Russia, if you plant it in South Africa, South America, and wherever,
When did you all start?
from the first century actually. We started over 2,000 years ago on the day of Pentecost in
Wow.
Jerusalem.
Who was the first member?
Well, the apostles were.
Okay.
They were the first ones to be baptized into the church. And then after Peter's sermon, 3,000. And then 4,000. And then it passed all the way up to the 21st
So
century.
where do we find the cathedral? Like I thought.
No, but you won't find any buildings because interestingly enough, when you study first century Christianity, the Christians didn't have these fancy buildings in the first century. They met in one another's homes. They met in catacombs.
Yeah.
And they had these little smaller meeting places like maybe by the river or, somewhere. But then as Christianity went through different phases and changes, they started building buildings. I mean, for convenience, I guess, where people can just come together in this one building.
Yeah. And maybe you're gonna build an altar, it'd be good to put it inside a building.
But then they cross over. They cross the line. People, as a result of that, make you think that the building itself is holy. But the building is not holy. There's nothing holy with the building because we are the church. The church is the body of Christ. And I think a lot of changes started to happen in Christianity as people strayed away from first century principles. Then a bunch of things start to take place. You know, they start to build these extravagant buildings. One of the things that I find to be very disheartening is when you go on Marshall Road, you're going to see about 13 church buildings all in a row.
Right.
Some of them cost
Like lobsters on a wire.
yeah, and some of them cost up to $2 million.
Really?
Do you know what $2 million could do for the people in Baytown? Why are they wasting all this money on these buildings that are going to just fall to nothing and be destroyed? Because the Apostle Paul specifically says that God does not dwell in temple built by human hands. He dwells in us.
Wow.
And so the concept of Christianity just changed so much that people get the wrong concept and idea about what the church is all about and all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is.
No,
But
I
the
know
church is
you
not a
often
building.
say that you are the Church of Highbury Park. It's not on a park though.
It shows our location. Highbury Park is an area just off
Okay.
Soda Road there.
Okay.
So when you hear the Church of Christ in Highbury Park or the Highbury Park Church of Christ, it just shows that we are the Church of Christ, but our location is in Highbury Park. We meet in Highbury Park.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all that means.
All right.
And
So that's been happening at the top of the show, and now we're talking about Talbot Street. Somebody tell Jamal Shawn cut his radio on because I want to make sure we have an ad.
Yes.
Let's read the ad.
The
first
Work
before I
Center,
get Jamal
sorry about
on the
that.
phone.
Forgive me. The Work Center, located on Rosetta Street across from Roberts Furniture, is your one-stop shop for back-to-school Dickies, Timberlands, and many, many more. Come on down and let their friendly staff assist you with getting ready for back to school. Are your dogs hungry and tired of low-quality food? Give them the best at Modernistic. We carry all the top brands, Taste of the Wild, Diamond Naturals, Victor, Anuchuk, all at the lowest prices in town. If you're on a budget, we've got 50-pound bags starting at just $49. And for limited time, buy any large bag of dog food and get a $10 coupon redeemable on select dog toys and treats. And if you can't make it, then shop online at www.modernisticgarden.com and we'll deliver right to your door. Your pet deserves quality, your wallet deserves savings. Shop in store or shop online today. Hurry, offer won't last. Thank you so much, producer. Back
Thank
to
you very much, spiritual advisor. And so, like I said, if you know Jamal, not Jamal Moss, not that one, the cooler one, Jamal Shawn. You know, he reminds me of Sean Connery.
Who?
Jamal Shawn.
Okay.
Jamal Moss doesn't remind me of anything, actually. He just reminds me of Jamal Moss.
Jamal's trying to be the member of parliament for Nassau Village.
Nassau Village.
All right.
Hey, you'd pass that on a social studies examination.
Mind you, that is an awesome place they built there at the corner of Alexandria Boulevard and what's that? When you come off of Soldier Road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know where Castaways used to be?
I know exactly where it is.
What's that street there?
I know. Spiritual advisor from South Beach.
And then you...
The only
You
road
ain't far.
that-
You're not far.
From that, yes.
And so that community center, wow.
It is elaborate.
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Wow,
They did an
such a
awesome job.
wonderful edifice. Yeah.
It brings a whole new meaning to Nassau Village, to say
Yeah.
the least, you know?
Yeah.
Let's hope they use it wisely
Yeah.
and use it for the community
Yeah.
to help change.
So to the cooler Jamal Strawn, who reminds me of Sean Connery, right?
You have a picture of Jamal Strong?
We probably do. Producer, do you have his picture? Do you know what
I
about
wanna
him?
see-
Do you
I'm
know
trying
what
to know
about him
what's
reminds
up.
me of Sean Connery?
His glasses?
He doesn't wear glasses. Neither does Sean
So
Connery.
he can't be cool then. You need,
Michael
you need,
Pintard wears
you
glasses.
need
He's
dark
not
shades
cool.
to be cool.
No, Sean Connery doesn't wear any shades. I like the way that Sean
The
Connery.
newer, oh, sorry, forgive me.
Who are you talking about?
I'm confusing
I could tell.
007.
Sean Connery is 007.
Right. Well, Sean was the older one.
Yeah, you talking about
The latest
you talking
one.
about Bronson?
Yeah. He's the cool guy. The
No,
latest, yeah.
Sean Connery is the coolest 007 that ever lived. And
Yeah.
the thing I liked about Sean, you have a picture of Jamal? Put a picture of Jamal, Sean, up. The thing I like about Jamal is Jamal could talk without moving his teeth. Only Sean Connery, one I know, could do that. I think it's such a cool
Well,
talent.
how do you do that?
I don't know, but you should ask Jamal. It is perfect. I love watching him do it. It's amazing. And so he says, "Hey, how are you doing? My name is Jamal." I said, "Why Jamal TD moving when he talked
Oh,
to me?"
that's Jamal Strong,
But it's
yeah.
amazing, and he's always very much in a nice little fitted outfit.
You know, I
and he's
don't-
fantastic. I love him.
You know, I don't know him.
How do you not know Jamal Strawn? He's one of the coolest people on the PLP's ticket.
No, I don't know him.
He has himself a little crew cut fade. Most times you see him with a little side tick just to let you know that he's modern. And yeah, he's actually a pretty smooth guy to talk to. Always very level. Never very excited at all. He knows how to manage his emotions on the political sphere. And yeah, he's a pretty good guy to talk to most days. But every time I talk to him, I smile in the back of my mind, and he's gonna know this here today, that I think he reminds me of Sean Connery.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember Sean Connery used to say, "The name's Bond, James Bond."
No.
And you never saw Sean Connery's teeth move. And I said, how does Sean Connery do that? And the only person that I can think about that does that is Jamal. Jamal Strawn does that. I think it's fascinating. I'm fascinated by it, actually.
So what kind of MP is he?
I live in South Beach.
Is he working?
I live in South Beach. But it is alleged that in the area of Talbot Street, and I'm telling him this because I hear he brag about his ability to turn on the light, right? But the people in Talbot Street tell me, say, these light around here, especially lamp pole number 50, this been dark so long, they don't know what to say about it. They call me, my phone almost exploded with calls, right? And I don't know how much people need this one light, but I feel like if this much people need the light, Jamal should go take a look at it. And so I promised them here today that I would have Jamal look at it. Why? Can you guess why?
Somebody needs light.
No, because they tell me Jamal speak light into existence before.
Oh, really?
They say Jamal come to Nassau Village and say, "Let there be," and boom, light appeared.
Okay, so who needs light in
I just told you, Talbot Street.
Which pole number?
They say pole number 50.
All right.
So Jamal, I don't wait for BEC, and guess what? I know you don't wait for BEC. But I'll tell you one thing I do know. I know they tell me ain't nobody ever put up as much light who don't wait for BEC before like Jamal.
Pole number 57? Pole number
57.
57.
Well, Jamal, I'll tell you what to do. You just check all of the 50s. You start at 50, and because what you ain't gonna do is cost me send Jamal to 57, and 50 is the one with the problem. So my intel tell me 50, Jamal, that's only 10 board. What to do? You just get your crew, and you just go light, light, light. And put light on all. Put light on all. Don't worry. Don't worry about if light already on it. Put light on the next side of the pole. That way Pookie don't have nowhere to hide.
All right.
Yeah? Yeah, and so while I'm complaining about that, I also want to complain about the fiber cable upgrade in the Northwestern District. Listen, and this one is for my friends at BTC. Mr. Duncombe, Miss Hannah, who else we know over there? What Stacy last name is?
I don't
Stacy.
know much people at BDC.
What you mean? And they always be on the show?
Okay, so what's the short lady that normally comes in?
Stacey.
That's Stacy, okay.
I can't remember what Stacy's last name is, but don't tell her I forget her last name. But she named Stacy, right? So Miss Hannah, all over there at BTC. Who else over there?
Kaylee Simonet.
Simonet. Who else we forgetting? Man, the people over there say, for Christ's sake, this thing been on from Thursday gone, and they call you all and you all tell them you all to turn it back on Friday. And they say the businesses in that area can't do no business because they ain't got no fiber spiritual advisor.
Wow.
Yeah, the people say they want to run their point of sales. They can't run their point of sales because they ain't got no internet. And I told them, I say, oh no, you are not going to say that. I know Mr. Duncan very well, and he's a no-nonsense guy. And if you are having a business-to-business problem, Mr. Duncan is going to have someone fix that for you immediately. And they told me they called the 225 number, and the people told them to give them 1 day. And they say after that didn't work, they called my number. And I don't know why, because I don't wait for BTC. But,
Yep. So Bahamians need to do a bit more complaining
yeah,
to ERCA, because apparently the internet and cable service in this country is deplorable. It's crazy. You cannot get proper internet
no,
service.
special advisor, come back this way. You're going too far.
Really?
I understand that it works wonderfully.
It does?
Yes, but apparently, either there is an upgrade and then there was some damage, or that there was some damage and it needs to be upgraded. You following me?
Okay.
Notwithstanding that, however, whatever the circumstance is, due to that circumstance, they want the people at BTC to come check it out because they tell them they was going to fix it Friday. Well, it's almost Friday again. BTC ain't get there yet. But only because they told me that it was a business account, something. I told them they have my word. I know that the people in BTC don't fool around. I told them that the people from BTC Business was just here the other day, and they told us they don't fool around. So if this is a business BTC account, my brother, you just call the 2255282 number and you say the word business. And when Delmaro Duncan them hear that, they're gonna speed towards you. That's what I told the fellow, right? They're gonna speed down there and come fix that. So BTC, please, you're not Northwestern, what is it name? Fiber optic cable thing that y'all working on. Work a little faster, because people say they can't process the credit card machine and all kind of other crazy things because they ain't got no internet. All right?
Indeed.
Fantastic. So since we're talking about upgrade, spiritual advisor, guess who is at it again?
Upgrading.
Yeah, guess who's at it again?
I can't guess.
What do you mean you can't guess?
It all depends on the
You
upgrade.
could guess.
I don't know.
Oh boy. Jomo Campbell is at it again.
Oh, come on.
And Jomo
Not today, man.
is like Omo.
Again?
Because he's for all your tough problems. I said the same thing. I say, Jomo again? I said, how much things Jomo trying to do? That's what I said. I said, I said, every time I look around, it's just Jomo.
Jomo's the only MP working.
Wow. And so there are upgrades happening at the Arawak Cay, courtesy of Jomo Campbell, who is an amazing minister and who is ensuring, guess what? That after 32 years of asking for it. We got the clip ready? Here is what the people have to say about what Jomo is doing. Yeah, the Arawak Cay fire hydrant upgrade.
3 decades since the last fire hydrant was installed in Arawak Cay, and now the installation of one is reportedly set to take place tonight, according to officials. With the Cay having a number of fires over the years, business owners emphasizing a burden of fare being lifted. President of the Arawak Cay Conch Fish, Vegetables and Food Vendors Association, Rodney Russell, noting that the move is one vendors call for, but is elated to see happen.
First time in 32 years that a fire hydrant is now being considered, and there was a location chosen to put a fire hydrant. We were long hoping for a fire hydrant because of the proximity of these buildings in Arawak Cay. We had no fire hydrant, even though in the past we have tried, the association has tried many times to work with the government to assist us in putting a fire hydrant in Arawak Cay. We have had fires. Fortunately for us, those fires was distinguished before it could have done any harm to the business owners in Arawak Cay. It gives us a sense of security. It also helps us to understand the importance of our development.
While operations manager on Arawak Cay, Levon Miller, says the installation of the fire hydrant is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources and the Water and Sewage Corporation.
We wanted to expand safer public access to this public facility. And that covers everything from the introduction of CCTVs, to the trimming of coconut trees, to fire hydrant. Thankfully, the Minister with responsibility for agriculture, Mr. Campbell, as well as Minister Lundy, have created a wonderful working partnership that has caused this development to take place. So when the project was considered, because of the location of Arawak Cay, the layout of Arawak Cay, and who Arawak Cay caters to, we thought about the different ways that it would be possible to get done. Arawak Cay is all man-made land, and so there was a consideration given for a deep water well hydrant as well as a pressurized hydrant. So what we're going to put out here is going to be a pressurized hydrant.
In honor.
And isn't Jomo wonderful?
Okay.
Isn't Jomo wonderful, spiritual advisor?
Yeah, listen. You know,
Jomo is like Omo.
you know what I find to be interesting about the Bahamian politics? We have ministers, and what people fail to do is you have to do these word studies. A minister is a servant. And so when the servant does his job, what's all this hullabaloo?
I know one thing, I could give you a list of other servants who ain't do their job. So much so that we had to roller skate them out of Parliament.
All it is he's performing
So
because
he-
he's being paid.
so
he's been paid to do the service.
So
you know.
he is a beacon on
So
a hill.
you
And
expect him to do these things.
all servants everywhere, listen to my voice.
Ministers
if you
are servants.
want to be a servant, don't worry about no servant handbook. That could waste your time. All you have to do is understudy Jomo, my brother. And if you understudy Jomo, how you gonna miss? Think about this. Jomo raising chicken, walking in Centerville, swinging sledgehammer, or keeping the bottom open, and putting the fire hydrant in. You hear the man say, how long the man say he ain't had no fire hydrant, spiritual advisor?
I cannot recall.
How long? My God, you hear with me?
I cannot
The
recall.
man say, you sound like you to do good in the P. Diddy case. I do not recall. That's the best answer to have.
I cannot
Hey,
recall.
they can subpoena you, you know. They can't tell you they can't subpoena your memory. You see? So the next time you all go to court to destroy a decent black man, and you are talking about how you all feel so guilty, I don't feel nothing for you all. It's because women are horrible human beings. And whenever they stop getting exactly what they want, they will sink the entire ship. And I want to say, Jesus coming back, you know. You all getting up right in hell. Anyway, but they can't subpoena your memory.
I cannot recall.
Yeah. So you show up to court and you can write me 99 subpoena. I don't care. When I get there, you'll sweating this to Laura Quinn. I do not recall at this time. I cannot recall at this time. That's what you do. Subpoena me, go ahead. You'll see.
No, ministers.
And so, Jomo is fantastic. That's all I could say. Arawak Cay is a safer place thanks to Jomo. I feel like the Powerpuff Girls. Remember they said on the Powerpuff Girls? And once again, where they used to live? Charlottesville is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. Well, once again, Arawak Cay is safer thanks to Jomo Campbell. Why?
Jomo's like Omo.
Jomo is like,
Man,
for
you
all
got me
your
right
tough
in
jobs.
this nonsense. Man, listen.
For all your tough jobs, just call Jomo. That's all you have to do. Ah, boy. Anyway, and so I see Lincoln Bain is saying that he disagrees with the leader of the opposition and that he doesn't take him serious. I want to take you to the clip from Lincoln Bain so that you could hear what Lincoln has to say, and then I'll tell you what I have to say.
Well, the leader of the Coalition of Independence, Lincoln Bain, not holding back from opposition Free National Movement leader Michael Printard as he's criticizing the party's first group of ratified candidates in the upcoming election. While at the opening of the COI's headquarters, Bain says from his view, only his party is, quote, serious about bettering the Bahamas.
We're not impressed. We think that if Michael Pintard is even going to use our slogan by saying change ain't come and change is here, in a senior moment he must have had, we think that they should actually present change like we are doing. To present 9 out of 17 candidates, a majority, who are the same old people from the last election, you can't be serious about change. It's disgraceful.
With the number of familiar faces to the political arena, part of the FNM's candidates' first rollout, Bain says he believes it's sending the wrong message.
It's disgraceful that you're going to come back with persons like Marvin Dames, who has failed us, with persons like Darren Henfield, who has failed us. We want change, man. Give someone else a chance. Give another party a chance. You know what's going to happen if you vote for the PLP or FNM. You know what's going to happen. More after 6 months after election, everybody complaining, everybody won election, everyone tired and fed up. You want that same thing again? No. I think it's time for change.
And so I 52% agree with Lincoln being 51%, kind of like, but 51% kind of like in the way that the Bahamas government owned 51% of BTC. Like, I agree with him in that kind of way, right? And by the way, where are the 2% shares? I hear from these 2% shares from Christie was the Prime Minister. Minister Alcides, we could do a status check on the 2%, because I remember when that was in the news every day, and now I don't hear anything about the 2%. We still have the 2%, sir? I'd like to know where we putting that, because I haven't heard about that in a long time. That came to my mind just now. You know, spiritual advisor, if we wrote a new Bible, there would be parts of the Bible where they would say, "Then came the Spirit of the Lord unto Laban." Like just now, I was quickened to ask about BTC's 2%, because I hear nobody talk about that in the news for a long, long, long time. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So Lincoln, I agree with you, 51%. But kind of like the BTC 51%, right? I agree. I think Michael Pintard is a circus show. What I do not agree with, though, is I'm not sure I want a slate of brand absolute new candidates all the time. I actually credit that for being the reason why Hubert Minister's cabinet was so dismal. Because while we had a superstar-studded stacked cabinet of name brand dudes, right? That's what we would call them in the military. Name brand dudes. Marvin Dames was there. Darren Henfield was there. Jeffrey Lloyd, my friend and distant mentor, was there. Ellsworth Johnson, former president of the Bar Association, was there. Ramal Ferreira was there. And I heard Darren Henfield talking about this prime minister not having the wherewithal to fire ministers, right? I want to know if he can recall that the former prime minister completely, what do you call it? I don't want to say usurped, because the prime minister was his boss, but gutted Ramal's ministry, his portfolio responsibility. Remember that?
Okay.
Yeah. And he didn't fire him. So Ramal technically was collecting a salary just for naming Ramal commander. I just think about these things when I hear people say things. And I ain't saying tit for tat and butter is for fat. I just saying, we ain't fire him either. That's what I said, right? And I agree with Lincoln, right? Like if you vote PLP or FNM, you know what you will get. But Lincoln, I know if I want a ticket full of novice. See, because what if Dorian turned around? The reason Minister's cabinet performed so poorly is because them fellas was only name brand in the Bahamas. No one in CARICOM know them. No one in the United Emirates know them. No one in the OEA know them. This is the Organization of American States. How do they say that? OAS. Know them. No one from NATO know them. No one from PAHO know them. No one from UNESCO know them. No one from nowhere other than Camp Road know them. That's why Mia Motley outpaced us 6-1. That's why Jamaica outpaced us. And if I change 2 US $100 bills, they'll give me a briefcase of Jamaican money. Yet they outrun us in the race to recovery from Dorian and from COVID. Because we had a novice cabinet. And I would say this, Karen, what is her last name? What the you have the picture of the COI South Beach candidate woman put up. ChatGPT knows her very well, apparently. She has quite a Karen Farrington has quite a decorated set of ChatGPT reviews, by the way, right? You could actually put her name in ChatGPT right now. She's been in hospitality, a super duper star over by Curzon International in its heyday. The list goes on. I'm sure if when the contuberance hit the perpendicular, like my good friend Peter Ramsey would say, I'm sure I want Karen on the phone trying to access funds from CARICOM. I'm sure it's Karen I want on the phone talking to the IDB. I'm sure if it's Karen I want on the phone talking to the IMF. I want Christie on the phone. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't care how talented you are. And I think it's former President Barack Obama that says that he always finds it so interesting that if you go for a surgery, you want the most decorated surgeon. If you go on a plane, you want a pilot that has been in adverse pilot situations to fly you. If you go on a scuba excursion, you want someone that is a dive master to be your chaperone. The only place where people continue to ask for novices
To run the
is
country.
politics. And I agree with the president. That makes no sense. So Lincoln, I agree. While you and I agree that this certainly wasn't the best batch of recycled people to pick, there are some recycled people that we could pick. Like you, like Brian, like Menace. We could pick them. We could go pick up Pinder, John, or the Abaco. We could pick him. Anyway, don't move, we'll be right back. So apparently I got more free things to give away. Thank you for staying with us through the break. I like giving away free things. I learned that from Cake Murphy, I tell you all. And let me send a shout out to Pastor Kirk Murphy from Temple Fellowship. When I was a younger man, I used to pop in and out of there with a little bit of regularity. You know, because the people were nice. The people were also very nice. So I'm going to say that about them. And so to Pastor Kirk Murphy, I don't know if you was listening to Freedom March, but hello. But while I was popping in and out of Kirk Murphy Church, I learned this, that every Sunday you go there, Kirk just give away things. I like that. And so that was one of the things that I always kept in my mind every Sunday when I was going by Kirk Church. And I say, wow, I never win nothing. Maybe I should come again next week Sunday. And that was how they kept me coming for about 7 months, eh? All right, so I got some stuff to give away. You got the pictures? Put them up. What is this? What is this I giving away? I got some tickets for, at some point they're going to show them to you. But we're giving away things. Because sometimes I don't even care what they give me to give away. I just want to give the people things, you know. Spiritual advice.
Which is good.
That's all I want to do. Give things to the people because I want the people to always show up here on Freedom March for us. While I waiting on them to get to the things we got to give away. I know that it has come down. I'm not sure why. But I'm very cautious about how I say this next statement because he's a family friend of mine. And I feel like by the time as I'm done hosting Freedom March, I won't have any more family friends that I could talk to. But to Apostle Ricardo Grant, I saw that there was an interview done by Apostle Ricardo Grant, who I see they labeled as a preacher from Grand Bahama. And while I am actually one of those people that have zero issues with the cloth being soaked in politics, right? So I have no hiccups whatsoever about churches and state separating and all that foolishness. You won't ever catch me in those kind of arguments, right? Because except the Lord watch the city, the watchman watch but only in vain. And so if the prophet come off the wall, then who shall watch the city? So I just want to make sure that the lines are clear though. And so I need to know when the voice of God is talking to Ricardo or when the voice of the FNM is talking to Ricardo. And that's my only one thing I want to say. So Bishop, hopefully, and it may not be you, it may be the people in the newsroom that's editing. I'm just saying make sure we get the titles right? Because I heard a bit of it and in my mind, excuse me, it sounded, I wasn't sure. And I like to be sure. Right, that I listen into the bishop speak now, and I also don't have a problem with people wearing more than one hat. You know, like how the king is king of England, but he's also king of the Commonwealth. Yeah, I'm comfortable with people being more than one thing, but he's also Charles Regimen among his family members. I'm comfortable with people being more than one thing, and so that's my only piece of advice to the bishop. Do we have the thing? Put it up on the TV so that people could see what I have to give away. This is the Fireworks in Paradise Comedy Festival featuring Mike Epps and Dash Quay and other international guests. It's going to be July 5th, that's Saturday. It's going to be at the Nassau Cruise Port. And they're going to have Jade Champagne as the sponsor, Bahamas Air, Nimiroff, what does that say? Dash Quay, and who else? Anyway, them. They're going to present this, and so we're giving away tickets. How many tickets I got to give away, producer? So 4 tickets. Wonderful. So we'll give away 1 pair today, and we're going to make this easy, right? You have to be a male under 40 in a vehicle, and since it's Wednesday, you have to tell me who my barber is, where my barber is, and what my barber on the side of. And if you could do that, and you got to have a pair of soft hands. We want the soft hands to be in the car with them? Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Let your soft hands be in the car with you. So when we say hello to you, you say hello. We ask you, your soft hands in the car with you? We want soft hands to say, yes, I'm in the car with him. And then after that, once you tell me who my barber is, where my barber is, and what my barber next to, my brother, you can start driving here now because the tickets will be downstairs. And so that's how we'll give away the first pair today at some point when we open the line, all right? Now,
Great.
What else are we talking about?
Let's get one birthday shout out to do.
Let's get some birthday shout outs.
Just one. Let's do this. I'm sorry, let's do this quickly.
Sure.
We want to do a birthday shout out to Johnny Aubrey. Happy birthday to Johnny Aubrey, coming from your loving daughter Rebecca. So happy birthday, Johnny Aubrey.
Wow.
And that's it for
Yeah,
today.
that's fantastic. Johnny
Yeah.
Aubrey,
Coming from your daughter Rebecca.
from a loving daughter,
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Isn't it wonderful? All right, so what else do we have? So I see that former Deputy Prime Minister and someone who helps me believe that you could achieve anything as long as you don't die. My daddy used to say that to me often. You know? Do you have any like famous quotes from your daddy?
From my father, there's so many.
Just give me one.
As long as you are not dead, you ain't past nothing in this life, son.
Yeah. My dad used to say, boy, and if you really want to see something, don't dead. Like anytime you gave him shocking news, he would say, yeah, well, that's interesting. Boy, and if you really want to see something, don't dead. So because I didn't die, I got to witness Thomas Desmond Bannister as Deputy Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Nothing I ever counted in the short straws in my mind, right? But here's what he had to say about fixed election date.
Former Deputy Prime Minister Desmond Bannister emphasized with the upcoming 2026 general election, government should consider a fixed election date. It is a practice for most countries to adopt. The senior politician telling Eyewitness News that, from his view, the democratic process of voting is one Bahamians would be open to.
I think that mature democracies around the world have started to adopt fixed election dates, and that is something for governments in the future to consider to bring more stability to the process. But right now, discretion of the Prime Minister, and I have no idea what he's going to do. He's the only one who knows what he's going to do. Bahamas is when it comes to elections, one of the most mature democracies in the world. You have, when you look at the percentage of eligible voters who turn out to vote in this country, and even in the last election where we said we had a small turnout, that turnout was bigger than many countries around the world, bigger than the majority of countries around the world. So Bahamians love to vote. They love to be involved in the democratic process.
And so Desmond Bannister say that while he's not Deputy Prime Minister anymore, he really thinks that we should set a fixed election date. And I want to tell him, I'm no prophet, I'm not even a soothsayer, but my premonition tells me that when Brave Davis, the Prime Minister, the Honorable, calls the election on May 5th of 2026, because he could be 74 and 3 7/8, he's going to have the testicular fortitude at that time. Because he's an old man, and old people is die, and he could be dead so and so. He don't have nothing to concern himself about with how you all feel about what he do. Because he old, and if you all mad, too bad. Fix it when I dead. That's what my grandma used to say, right? I believe that that will be the time in our history that Philip Davis decides that he's going to take the bull by the horn and that he's going to give us a fixed election date. And I want to say that that will galvanize him in history as the one prime minister that took on the tough challenges. Because as big and biggity as they say Mr. Ingram is, he ain't do it. And I remember him talking about it when I was 12. And as consultative as Mr. Perry Christie was, and all the bunch of meeting they had, he ain't do it. Yeah? And when Desmond Bannister was the Deputy Prime Minister, I don't know, maybe he had a little lapse in whatever judgment, but then they had no bunch of things to think about. That whole tenure of that administration only had two things to think about: Dorian and COVID, nothing else. Because remember, everybody was home and one man was running the place. They could have gone home and have a fixed election day conclave about which day we should pick. They could have spent the whole time in COVID talking about that. But somehow, 4 years in, no talk about a fixed election date. But I do believe that based on what I've deduced to be the trend, and based on what I've deduced to be the mindset of the Christie, Ingram and Associates, and co., that elections will be fixed in May. And since Mr. Davis's birthday is in June, I do not believe he will go to his 75th birthday without calling an election. And since the PLP like the number 10, May is the 5th month, and the 5th day, 5 plus 5 is 10. Right? The reggae song say that 5 plus 5 is equal to
10.
Good. See that? I knew I'd get you at some point. So we have that. And I believe that Brave Davis will say that elections shall be held the first week in May from now until forevermore be, and we will go with that. And in that way, when elections happen, a government gets a fresh budget to start governing with, right? And you can make adjustments early in the budget. Or you get to present your own budget if you're serious and you win government in time. All right? So that's what I think is going to happen. Desmond Bannister, just give Brave 9 more months. I believe he's going to get to that in short course. But all I'm saying is, the next time someone lets you be Deputy Prime Minister, and if you believe all these things that you claim to believe, like the Bahamas is very interested in voting, our voter turnout is be higher than plenty of people on, and all these other wonderful things that you see on the TV, then I simply believe that the next time you could just do it. Like how you didn't do it the last time, is all I'm saying. All right? So there you have it. Spiritual advisor, the people them keep blowing up my phone about another issue. July 2nd is the date, that's correct?
Yep.
And I found out something from the internet today. We are now closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. Today is the one day that makes us officially 25 years and a day removed
From 2050?
from 2020. 2000.
From 2000. Okay.
Right. So we are now closer to 2050 today than we are to 2000. Yeah. I don't know why people distract these things, but I thought that was an interesting information.
What's so significant about that?
That we almost are halfway through the halfway mark of a century.
Okay.
So we are now 25% or just over 25% through this century.
Okay.
All right? So we are at the quarter century.
Okay.
Good stuff. But what else is also standing out in the minds of the people out there, Madam Commissioner, is that your reservists are telling me that next week you ain't gonna have no reservists because the reservists them ain't get no money. And I was batting for you, Madam Commissioner. I told them, y'all give the commissioner a chance. You know the budget don't pass till July 1st. You know the commissioner ain't really got no money and she need fire truck. And fire truck costs all kind of money. And so she probably was busy trying to see if she could buy little hose and little fitting. And so y'all don't kill the commissioner because she's doing a wonderful job. And despite what they tell you, the crime numbers are down. And the commissioner having big time arrests with all kind of ghost gun. Right? Mm-hmm. But commissioner, they tell me that reserve police officers are actively engaged in a lot of this stuff that continues to make the police look good. And that since you ain't paying them, they might as well just work overtime on their regular job. Because at least they'll get paid. And I told them, no, keep the bootstrap tight. I have good confidence in Madam Commissioner of Police. She has my full confidence and my unwavering support. And I told them, it is about service to country, my friend. You just show up in the name of His Majesty. That's what I told them. But I also told them that once the budget was passed, I assured them that the Commissioner of Police would hurry to try and see if she could square away their grievances. And so, Madam Commissioner, I have committed you to people that you don't even know had a grievance. And so I want you to don't make me look bad, like how God didn't make the prophet Elijah look bad. Because I didn't tell them, have faith in Shanta Nodes. She will deliver. So, Madam Commissioner, I don't know what all you have to do this week, but don't leave me out here on this limb by myself. Please send some fire. Because the reserve police officers say the only pay them.
But it's saying this is an ongoing thing with the reservists, right? But you gotta remember there's some fundamental things that the Minister of National Security made very plain on the show. Number one, that is strictly a voluntary service.
It can't be voluntary if you get paid.
Well, you don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
Right. And only that,
but it is important to not do it.
Yeah, but you're supposed to have income taking care of your bills.
And they said that, but some of them said that they might as well just, some of them said that they work on their jobs, they've mastered their jobs.
And you only get a stipend.
They used to come to be police officers because they want to give national service.
Listen.
Hold on. They have a valid claim.
Yeah,
and They're saying that if that's the case, they just go to the police, they put in 40 hours a month there. They could put in the same amount of time and overtime to their job.
So do it. Go to the other
And that's
job.
all they're saying. So they're saying, you know what? Now that the pay is so far behind, and I don't disagree, isn't the P. Glover rule who say a fair day's pay for a fair day's work?
What the reserve police officers need to do, this is what I would do how you are.
I feel like the wind
All right?
about to blow something in my ears in a minute. When we go to the break and
Now
come
watch
back,
this
I should
now.
have good information.
Watch this. Now, there are some reserve police officers who tell me that there are times when they do more work than the other police officers.
Allegedly. You have to say allegedly.
Okay, allegedly. So here's the point. If you're not being paid, then you don't show up. All the reserve police officers need not to show up.
But they
Do any
love
work.
going.
Then you gotta wait.
Oh, boy. But
That's
spiritual
all it
advisor,
is.
spiritual advisor, I thought you was a champion.
Because the Minister of National Security says that money is basically to clean your uniform
Well, you want them going dirty uniform?
and so on and so forth. But you shouldn't be dependent on that money
They're not.
because you should have already have a salary or an income in place to take care of whatever your needs are.
And they do.
All right? So, you know, it is what it is. You get put in your hours, they're logged, and whatever the politics
And there is a
after that.
process, yes.
Yeah, you understand me? So
And all I'm saying is July
I
1 is
understand you
your-
need your money, reservists. I understand that because some of you, I understand you make up to $700-800 a month.
July is here. It's a
So-
new batch of money, right? The
But you're
budget.
3 months behind. 3 is to 24. That's $2,400.
Yeah, man. I
Now
know.
that's when it started to make a little bit of sense.
And all I'm saying is soft hands need a little something out of this.
Some of these men married. But the wife is soft hands. Okay.
Yeah. So
But-
you standing with the police on this?
But now I don't know what the politics is and why it takes so long to get paid. I don't know if there's a lot of bureaucracy or.
Well, no, they was to the end of the budget, and the commissioner, in her wisdom, I suppose, was making sure that she don't run out of money. What if Pookie them go on a shooting up spree? The commissioner might have to do commissionery things. That's all I'm saying to you. So you wait till you get the new money in
Yeah.
the new budget,
So
and then you
reservists,
just wet up the place
They
with
shouldn't
money.
put themselves in a position where they need this couple dollars. Don't do yourself like that. All right? That's supposed to be either icing or gravy.
So I want to tell you all now, all reserve police officers, I'm talking to you. I don't want you all not going to work because the commissioner ain't pay you all. Show up in the name of His Majesty King Charles.
They don't have to, though.
What you mean? And I telling
It's
them
not
to?
mandatory. They don't have to go.
Don't listen to him. Listen to me. You just show up and you strap your boots on tight and you shine your buttons shiny and you make sure that you execute per the doctrine. And you go there and you keep our streets safe because I want you to do it having full confidence that Commissioner of Police Shanton Knowles is going to ensure that you are sorted out.
And then they also
Have you no
say-
faith? Have you, oh ye of, have you no faith?
Now, for those stations that end up having to depend on reservists, now I understand.
What about the courts? Only reserved there?
Yeah. Anyhow.
Do you want to cut off the arm of justice?
Anyhow.
While I'm at it, and I'm talking about police, because I like to talk about police and law enforcement, let me send a special shout out to my friends over at the Bahamas Law Enforcement Credit Union. I had occasion to go in that area today, spiritual advisor. It's such a wonderful group of people. I mean, it's just so pleasant every time you go in there. The air conditioning is cool, the water is cold, and can I tell you, the service is second to none. Yeah?
Where's this?
The Bahamas Law Enforcement Credit Union.
Okay.
It is a wonderful place.
What do they do there?
Enforce the credit union of the law enforcement officers.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
Go on.
Okay. Do we have a picture of Randy Roll? Put a picture of Randy Roll back up on the TV for me, please. Yeah, but I was over there. I met the chairman. He was there. It was wonderful. I also met Chief Superintendent Johnson while I was there. That was a wonderful thing. And so to all of my friends that frequent the Bahamas Law Enforcement Credit Union, I want to just say to you all, isn't it wonderful that we all get to frequent the Bahamas Law Enforcement Credit Union? Randy, this is Randy Roll. Randy Roll is in charge of the consumer protection of the Bahamas.
Okay.
I've challenged Randy to do this before. I've spoken to him in private, and now I'm challenging him to do it again. You with me?
Go ahead.
Randy Roll, there is no way people that own stores, and I mean these gas stations because they're horrible now. It ain't no way in a country where the outside temperature is 98 degrees and my Jeep say 106 that these gas station them, let me call the ones, Shell on the corner of Michael Road. See, I ain't playing with y'all. I serious this time. I'm missing there. I tell you I was doing this. Shell on the corner of Michael Road. Texaco on the corner of Camp Road. What that other one name? This one right here. You know the one I mean?
Which one?
These people have an obligation to their customers to ensure that they have a working refrigerator, and don't tell me nothing foolishness about it hot so the fridges break down in the summer, which was the answer the person gave me yesterday.
That happens for true though.
Man, what that mean to me?
Then you just get the...
Yeah, and Abd Jeff Kasef Manofla says to you too. What that mean to you when I say it? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But it does happen though. So you get your refrigerator guy and you
You
fix it, you know?
cannot just say silly things.
That isn't silly. That's the truth.
This the first summer the Bahamas ever had?
No.
How much summer the Bahamas had? The Bahamas been having summer from Columbus land.
And watch, we can soon start running out of ice. Would you believe that?
My brother,
the ice machines can start breaking down.
If you want a business license and you want it to operate, we'll tell you what then, shut your shop down and you just sell gas because you look like you can't focus on the two.
You could.
But man,
most people could walk into gun.
I can tell you something that you wouldn't believe. And you could go confirm this with our good friend when you're done. You ready?
Okay.
Gas stations don't make money off of gas.
No.
Gas stations make the largest portion of their money off their storefronts.
Yeah.
Their storefronts wasn't always...
Yeah, it costs three times as much than the food store.
Because it's a matter of convenience.
It don't make no sense.
Because it is a matter of convenience.
Price control needs to go to these gas stations.
It is no, man. That is a luxury.
It's horrible. Going
in the gas station is a luxury because you could go to a convenience store and get it. They never tell you they had nothing but no convenience store. The SO say they have Tiger Mart. You hear anything but that sound convenient to you?
No, I don't see no Tiger when I go there.
Okay, and I'm saying to you that Randy, put his picture back up. Randy Roll, listen to me. Demand that they shut them shop down. And since you're a gas station, and since all you can focus on is gas, then I don't want you selling stale chip and hot soda in here. Because you look like you can't do the two. So you know what you need to go back and do? Make 10 cents off the gallon. You go back to doing that and you focus on that. Because you can't have convenience store. I tell them I call it their name. But it ain't no way you should tell me that the fridge hot because it's summer, like I live in Connecticut. When Jesus was a baby, the Bahamas had summer. You know that?
But I know. I wasn't here.
Summer ain't just reach. And if we being serious, we ain't reached the middle part yet.
Yeah, we're still over here as well.
It is a travesty and an indictment on those businesses. Shell on Carmichael Road and Texaco on the end of Camp Road and y'all right here.
Yeah, what happened is they say they need to order some parts. It's taking a while.
Boy, and when you figure that out?
The compressors need parts.
Did it break down last summer?
No.
Did it break down 2 summers ago?
I don't know.
Man, buy backup. Everybody who have a refrigerating company, let me tell you where to go advertise, all right? Go put your card in these gas. They horrible. And I had enough of it. And either you ought to run these shop with some sense or close them down and go back to being petroleum service station and making the money off of wiping my windshield. But if this bunch of hot water could be in this fridge like it ain't 100 degrees, I was sending Randy Roll after y'all. Randy, shut all of them down. This Freedom March, don't move. We'll be right back. Hello, thank you for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on Freedom March. We're on 103.5 The Beat FM. We're also on channel 224, channel 112, and on ILTV Studios on cable, Flow, and Facebook. We have Tanya on the line.
Good afternoon, Mr. Miller. Good afternoon, spiritual advisor. It's your girl Tanya coming to you live from Shop Smart Department Store. Your miracle right here at number 122 Marquis Street, where we say we're here for you for whatever season of your life and everyday living. We are having our 50% off blowout summer fun sale. Yes, you can get 50% off on all of our summer fun items, from beaching and boating items. I am talking about whether you need to come on into Shop Smart and get your floaties, your goggles, your life vest. Maybe you want to play outside in the yard and you need to get your pools. We have inflatable pools here, also 50% off. We have got the floaties, all 50% off. Your armbands, 50% off. You can come on in and get your backyard games, also 50% off, because we want everybody outside in the yard, outside on the beach, having fun this summer. So all of your kites, your skipping rope, all of your water balloons, your water guns. Listen, we've got all of your bubbles, whether you get them in character or the regular bubbles, they're all 50% off. We want you saving. We want you satisfied. We want you smiling. Come on into Shop Smart, your miracle right here on Marquis. We're open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience. But if you can't come in the store, you can shop with us online at www.shopsmart242.com. You can do all your shopping there. We deliver to the boat of your choice and right here in Nassau. Remember, Shop Smart is here for you. You can like and follow us on all our social media platforms. Mr. Munka, spiritual advisor. Remember, shop early, shop often, shop smart.
Thank you very much, Tanya, and welcome back. I haven't heard from Tanya in a while, but Tanya, we're always happy to have you here on Freedom March. You and our friends at Shop Smart, eh?
Absolutely.
Spiritual advisor.
Good to have Tanya back.
Spiritual advisor. Mm-hmm. How long have you been here with me now? 8 weeks?
Boy,
10 weeks?
May.
May. 30 days of September, April, June, and November.
Probably 10 weeks.
Yeah. So about 60 to
11.
Maybe like 80 days now.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And from I've been sitting here, have you seen the power?
What power?
The same one I used to cut off the phone line. You see the other day I cut the phone line off the TV dip?
Okay.
You see the power. You witness the power.
Okay.
Well, one more time again, spiritual advisor, just like Benny Hinn. Police reservists get paid. Woo! I want every police reserve everywhere all across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Go check your bank account. Go check your bank account.
The plain land.
Power fall now.
The eagle has landed.
Go there. Man, speed there. Speed there. Call children you love and tell them stay inside because you're going to the ATM. Speed there now. And I want, when we open the phone line, I want you all to report that whether or not the money was there.
No, we got to be careful of that now. Cause
The money there.
We don't want people watching people.
The money
You know what I mean?
there. The police got gun. What you talking about? The money there. And thank you very much for saying that. Laid to rest today was Inspector Williams, a champion among champions, a soldier at heart, laid to rest today at the Christ Church Cathedral. Lennox Williams, this country shall never forget how you eradicated a miscreant. And while we are sorrowful that you have gone on, we hold firm in our Christian faith that to die is Christ.
To die is gain.
To
To
die
live
is
is Christ.
gain.
Yeah, to live is Christ.
That to die
But to
is
die is
gain.
gain, yeah.
Thank you, spiritual advisor. That's the Apostle Paul. And so, you lost nothing in debt, beloved. As a good man of faith, we trust that you've gone to reap your reward. But in your going, you have excavated this cancer from among our society. And if I have my way, when I become prime minister one day, I intend to make abortion legal all the way to age 21. You know that about me?
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you look at your 17-year-old son and you say, this boy don't look like he going in the right direction, right? You have to call 2 of the elders from the community. And you tell them, say, y'all come look at this boy. What y'all think about him? And if the 2 elders look at him and say, you know something, Bradley, you right, this boy going the wrong way. You could just abort him.
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
No,
Why not?
Because he can be saved, man. Never
Jesus could do that. Jesus could
As
do that.
long as there's life, there's hope.
That's why we could take the lives, because we didn't give up all the hope. Yeah. And we could abort him, and that won't be murder, because we wrote it into law that as long as you don't let this boy turn 22, we could just abort him and move on with it. Yeah. That's what I have in my mind for if y'all ever let me be Prime Minister. Anyway, so make sure y'all save that clip, right? So 10 years from now, y'all could pull it so y'all could see that my position on it hasn't changed. What I don't feel like doing is piling people up in prison to feed them for 15 years. Because I don't think that that's fair to good tax-paying people. So if your son look like he is just going to become a miscreant, a misfit, a bandit, a hooligan, or I like hooliganism a little bit, not that one. Give me another adjective. Or any of those other words that don't fit in an ordered society, yeah, just abort him.
Then you send them to be docs because everything's changing now.
That'll take long.
It's going to be the Bahamas
That'll take long.
We're going to correct these people.
Once, and here's the rule. The rule is you have to deliver a single fatal blow. So we're going to do an autopsy after the abortion. And if we have proven that there was any stress, strain, pain, or struggle, you're going to jail for murder. But as long as you was able to deliver a single fatal blow, bam! Abortion, the society is happy with it. And that is how I feel about that. You have the picture of the vehicle I sent you, producer? I also want to do this while I feel led of the Lord to do this. To the driver of this vehicle right here. You was in that car with a pair of soft hands sometime today.
That's a GV.
Yeah.
It's a red blade.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. You were in that vehicle today sometime at around 217 in the area of Collins Avenue, just after the 17 shop. They should revoke this government vehicle from you, because if you drive a government car like that anywhere in the world, you should not have the privilege of driving a government car. Okay? Now, am I anti-stunt driving? No. As a matter of fact, I drive my car in a very defensive fashion, oftentimes when I'm driving it. But I don't know which fire you was going to out or what exactly you were going to do. But that driving is a little too defensive for a government vehicle that isn't a police car. And so if anybody know who driving this car and you happen to be their supervisor, I say take it from him this time. I say keep your eye on him. Because I suspect that is his normal driving pattern. And if it is, then I suspect that he is a danger to the public and that he will one day be charged with driving without due care and attention. All right? So, okay, so that's enough. Let's open the phone lines. 323-777-5, 698-0775, 698-0776. Don't forget, I got a pair of tickets if you're a man 40 and under. So you have to be born January 1985 or after. You have to be in the car with your pair of soft hands. You have to tell me what my barber name, where my barber is, and what my barber next to, because it's Wednesday, right? And Wednesday is?
Yeah, Barber Day.
Barber Day. And if you and soft hands in the car together, you come here right now and I got 2 tickets for you to go to Dash Quaid Empty. All right, let's take some phone calls.
323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Mr. Miller.
Hi.
Before I make a comment, do you know who greater than Jesus?
Nobody.
Well, then read John 14 and 28 and see what Jesus said.
What did Jesus say?
Jesus said,
the Father is greater than I am?
My Father is greater than I.
All right, let me just explain this here. I'm going to give you 30 seconds and I'm going to let you go. All right. Listen.
No, I move on.
No.
I get on this.
Put him on hold.
Put
him on hold, producer. See, when you call the show, have your facts together. Yes, Jesus says that the Father is greater than I am. And here's why he made that statement. The Bible says, and though he did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but he humbled himself and became a servant. And so the reality is when Jesus Christ left the heavens and came down to earth, he became even lower than the angels. The Bible specifically says that Jesus Christ in his human state became lower than the angels. So he was lower than the angels, and the angels even lower than God. So he came down 2 steps. The angels was greater than him, and of course because of his earthly position, that's why he said, for the Father is greater than I am. If you go to Philippians chapter 2, it specifically says that Jesus gave up. He emptied himself and became humble as a servant, even to the point of death. When you don't do proper Bible study, that is what happens. But guess what? After his death, the Bible says, and God then brought him back into the heavens, and he became more superior than anything in the heavens. So him and God then became one. I need to get the passage so I could quote it.
Or he could just come to the
carefully.
Highbury Park service tonight. I feel like y'all could tell him that there. They say they start at 6:45.
Yeah.
See what they say there.
Yeah,
You got more calls on the night?
So, caller, we'll let you go now. I need to quote those passages carefully for you. I'm trying to remember them in my head. But
or he could just go by the church at Highbury Park.
let this mind be in you, which also was in Christ Jesus, who, being the form of God, did not consider equality with God something to hold on to, but he humbled himself and became a servant, became lower than the angels, and for what purpose? So that he could redeem mankind and back to God. So his position, of course, on earth, he was lower than the angels. All right, caller. Producer, you need to call me 814-6096 after 6 o'clock so I can further explain that to you. Okay, 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom House Call. You're live.
Oh, Mr. Miller,
Hello.
how are you, sir?
I'm breathtaking.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. Now, I want you, hey, cuz, how are you?
I'm
I
doing well.
want you, Mr. Miller, to blow that whistle. I had no garbage dump for 10 days.
They ain't dump your garbage?
On Robinson Road.
Oh, no. Where is this?
Blow that whistle.
Where it is?
East of the Marathon Mall.
Uh-huh.
On Robinson Road.
And they ain't taking your garbage in 10 days. Okay, you hold on. That sounds like something that make me... Listen, 10 days, no garbage?
No.
Oh, man, they're not safe
that's
around
terrible.
now. That's absolutely terrible. Garbage
It is
people...
terrible. It never happened before, but it's happening right now. I don't know if they campaigning or what. I don't know.
I can tell you one thing. Lisa Raman is responsible for that area.
And she's a beautiful lady, so I don't know what's going on.
But don't worry about that. She going to call the garbage people right now. Lisa, call the garbage people. I hear they say the garbage in Marathon tall as Jericho wall around there, Lisa. And we can't have that.
No, sir.
We can't have that. And I want you to make sure, thank you, caller. And Lisa, I want to make sure.
Okay, cuz, talk to you later.
All right, cuz, you take care of yourself.
Lisa, and I want you to tell them the speed. Because there's no way that you could just have people garbage 10 days. Man, that's almost as long as it takes to born a baby. 10 whole days, nobody pick up the garbage? Surely by now it's stinking. Lisa, you're a wonderful MP. I know you don't want the people living in squalor. But could you imagine Brownie get the garbage? Brownie ain't know the garbage truck ain't coming around. Now Brownie tear up the garbage and people grass. Now people grass got garbage in it. And I done see them rat around in Marathon. Them rat ain't no joke. Lisa, you should also get somebody to carry a little rat bait around. That's a good campaign strategy. See if you can do that. But Lisa, tell the garbage people to speed, okay? Because this woman, I mean, you hear the height in her voice? She almost can't breathe. Send the garbage people and tell them to speed on Robinson Road, east of the Marathon Mall. Please, all right?
Indeed.
We got a caller? Let's go, caller. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hey. Hold on now. What the criteria is?
What's your barber name?
No. What you got to do to qualify first?
I don't say it again.
I say you gotta be a man under 40. When you born?
93.
93. Oh yeah, you way under 40. You matter of fact, you born after Atlantis Bill. You gotta have you in a car?
I had a vehicle.
Perfect. You got your pair of sore fans in there with you?
Yeah.
Sore fans, you in there with him?
So fans talk. Yeah. He's shy, man.
Now how I get no sore fans in the car? Tell sore fans be giving away things. You know, sore fans don't like things.
He says sore fans is a guy. Sore fans is this guy.
So hold on now. Sore fans, that's your friend. I don't make me listen. You're trying to put me in fear, and I'm trying to put that to me. Sore fans, you got 7 seconds now. Sore fans, that's you in the car?
So fans shy, man.
All you have to do is, you think sore fans, all you have to do is say hello. Sore fans, are you in the vehicle?
So fans shy.
Mama, like, I gotta verify sore fans in the car with you now.
So fans shy.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I wouldn't get this boy the ticket so bad, but sore fans ain't want to win these tickets.
They say what?
Just say hello.
Hi.
So,
No,
now,
they not so fans.
I don't want, now listen to me, caller. I don't want you flagging down woman on the side of the road.
Oh, Lord. No, man.
All right. All right, caller, no problem. Hold the phone line. My producer will take your name. You can come straight to the studio. The ticket is here, all right?
All right.
So make sure you take out. And so fans, this bunch of shyness, cut that out.
These niggas is clowning, man.
This weekend, I tell so fans this weekend, I want to put on her going to meeting outfit. Does she have any of them?
Hey, she just laid up now.
All right, well, you make...
I could be ready. All my crew, we could be ready.
Oh, you could talk? I didn't know you could talk. Well, you put on your guy in the meeting outfit, and I want you to put on your high heel tipping toe shoes. You have any tipping toe shoes?
Whatever you need, baby, I got it.
Good stuff. And you make sure that you enjoy fireworks in paradise. You and our auntie all go and have a good time, all right?
Thank you.
All right, good stuff. See that? I tell you, just come and listen to Freedom March. We don't run out of things to give people. All right? Good stuff. Let's go to the phone line, 323-7775.
He bugged me just now. 323-7775.
They almost make me blow the whistle, boy. If so fans didn't come to the phone, I beginning to panic. 6980775. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you there.
Hello?
Hey.
Are you there?
I'm very here.
Okay. I'm calling from the Arawak area. I am calling about reference to the lady off Marathon Road there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so my garbage hasn't been picked up for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay, I'm disturbed because I have, deterioration of the heat and all the other stuff to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's deplorable. I have to be using bleach, pine sol, watering those garbage bins every day. I have taken pictures now that I have to put the garbage on the top of my garbage house.
Wow. And which area is this? Now did you say?
I called the Minister of Environmental Health, and I messaged Lisa Ramin, and it still is out there.
You call Lisa and she ain't do nothing?
She hasn't answered me on the message yet.
Lisa ain't answer you?
No.
All right, watch this. Let me call Lisa for you, okay?
Well, I don't know if they could send a sanitizing company to the area because
Let's get the garbage. Let's get the garbage truck first. Let's get the garbage truck first. We can get the garbage truck first. But you still on the line? You say you called Lisa.
Yes, I did.
And you ain't get her.
No.
No problem. And you say Don Nordage Estates.
That's right.
Which side of Don Nordage?
For me?
Yeah, which side of Don Nordage? Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Skyline Drive.
Skyline Drive.
Skyline Drive. now.
All right, no problem. I hang up the phone. I can call Lisa for you, okay?
Brother better come.
Okay. You sound like you
Okay, bye.
from Long Island. You from Long Island, eh?
Yes, I'm from Long Island.
I can tell
know you.
You sound like Bala and Reg them.
I know spiritual advice. I am Red too. I met you in Cat Island to Regatta.
But listen to me. If you met me in Cat Island at Regatta, you know I was there undercover.
No, this I was much younger than that, 10 or 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, but now you gotta talk something, you gotta keep some. 20 years ago I wasn't a save. I'm saver now.
Oh, I see.
Thank you very much, caller. But hang up. I can call Lisa for you, okay?
Spiritual advisor, hi. Have a good day.
Yes, hi. How you doing?
All right.
Great.
Be good. Bye-bye.
You too.
She sound like Bala them. You know Bala them?
Street to street.
Hold on, I gotta call Lisa.
Okay.
Lisa! Let me see if this the woman says she called Lisa. Lisa ain't answer. Lisa! Hold on, one more good time. You ready? Lisa! Boy, I call Lisa. Lisa ain't answer me either. But I believe someone hear me calling Lisa. And if you hear me calling Lisa, you better go call her, because the people let me down. The woman said she met me 20 years ago, spiritual advisor.
Wow.
I was a hot shot
39.
run and gun 20 years ago.
Wow.
She almost made me want to run from the studio. I want to run from here back to my watering hole. Let me say a special shout out to my friends at the local community watering hole where I happen to have ambassadorial functions over. But she just invigorated me. I feel young and sprightly again. Let's take the call. Hello, caller.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hey, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Mr. Miller.
Hey.
All is well?
I feel like I okay.
yeah. I haven't called you, Georgia, but I just want to see if you could assist me with something. This the fellow read on Fire Trail Road. I think you know me.
This is the Coconut Man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, everything is good. God is great. Yeah, firstly, I just wanted to start off with not really congratulating, but giving a shout out to the Prime Minister for the good work he's doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jomo Campbell.
You mean Jomo, who is like Omo?
Yeah, Jomo Omo, man. Yeah, he's doing a really, really good work. Yeah, with agriculture and the coconut tree 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm really calling for is because I need your assistance with getting my permit with the Prime Minister had issued for the vendors that they give for the coconut 360.
The Prime Minister issue you a permit?
Yeah, some boots.
And you ain't get it?
No, I haven't got my permit. Yeah.
Boy, well, if Brave Davis issue it and you ain't get it, I sure. All right, I think I have a number for you.
No, but what I wanted to ask you as well, because I know you was the president or something by the Arawak Cay.
Arawak Cay's managerial position is in transition presently. The person that manages daily is a private citizen, so I won't call his name. But
no, I said you was there before.
I was, yeah, I was there.
Okay. How do you feel about the coconut vendors out there?
There are no coconut vendors on Arawak Cay Fish Fry.
On the Western Esplanade side?
Well, on the Western Esplanade side, I don't have intimate enough knowledge about it to speak intelligibly. Michael Barnaby has greater carriage over that than the Ministry of Agriculture does. It's a jurisdictional thing. So I don't know if I've ever given it any real consideration, but is there a specific thing? Maybe I've seen it.
Yeah, because we was trying to bring some new flair there, and I just was getting denied now for the past 3 months.
But let me give you some intel. Jomo Campbell, on his feet in the Parliament of the Bahamas, as the Minister of Agriculture, said that he has the drawings approved and his ministry has the money. And they are building 15 new stores at Arawak Cay, my brother.
Yeah, the Prime Minister personally gave me a key for one.
So you...
I have to,
How you give you the key? I know they buy the lock. Well, let me tell you what to do. You make sure that out of the 15, one of them, make sure they put your lock on one of them. And
I wanted to put one of them on Western Esplanade because I wanted to bring a new flair there.
Listen, you're talking more than you're listening. They putting it on Arawak Cay, my brother. Jomo say 15 coming.
No, they some different stores. They different stores. They different. That's something different you're talking about.
Okay. All
It's
right.
about the coconut.
Well, congratulations on the. This is actually one of the better coconut water people on the side of the road.
So this Miller?
He has the coconut thing on Fire Trail Road. That is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fire Trail Road.
On Fire Trail Road, you'd see the containers there with the guys at the table, and it's wonderful.
Okay.
A matter of fact, I got it. When you go, you out there Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, Monday to Saturday.
All right, I gotta come get me 1 gallon of
He's on the
coconut
west or the
water.
east side?
I don't know. I just
Yeah, but I really need some assistance with that permit because the boots they get issued. And it's just on me on a whole lot right now.
I'll see if I can talk to Jomo Campbell about it. But Jomo is like Omo.
I get Jomo isn't the man. You guys talk to the kid about me.
I can talk to Jomo.
I'll talk with him.
If it could fix, Jomo could fix it. Understand that? Jomo is like Omo, my brother. Now you see how we let hard hands and soft hands. You tell me who my barber name and get ticket. Anyway, you hear the jingle all the time.
Be back tomorrow.